Toshiba, leading innovation.
Did you know that the majority of all hard disk drive defects are due to mishandling of drives before integration? Hello, my name is Jürgen Klein. I'm responsible for quality control of Toshiba hard disk drives, known as HDDs for short, within Europe. And I would like to spend the next few minutes sharing with you the importance of correctly handling our HDDs. Toshiba manufactures high-quality and reliable HDDs, which are then integrated into millions of applications such as computers, consumer electronic devices, and even automobiles around the world. Today, you're most probably using a Toshiba HDD in one of your devices. Even so, you may not know it, as HDDs are one of the most important components of any digital device. HDDs read, write, and store all your information, from family photos, your favorite songs and movies, to important business data. However, did you know that careful handling is required to protect HDDs from damages and data loss? As a matter of fact, most drive failures are due to incorrect handling after they have been shipped from our manufacturing facility. The media inside the disk is covered with a special multi-layer magnetic coating. A motor spins the media at thousands of rotations per minute. This causes the read-write head assembly to fly over the media at about 10 nanometers, about thousandth the width of a human hair, without contacting the disk itself. Whilst the head is flying over the media, the data is either read or written onto the actual platter. This technology is the equivalent to a 747 flying about 0.8 millimeter over the desert with the crew trying to count the individual grains of sand. If a HDD is bumped or dropped, the head can lift up from this parking zone or the data zone, which can damage the heads or the media. In order to avoid this, I would like to give you a few tips on how to handle HDDs correctly and what you should never do. Handling HDDs with care begins from the moment they arrive at your facility. Work with your transportation company to make sure they understand the loading and unloading requirements and the fragile nature of the product. Inspect the delivery and make sure the boxes aren't dropped or crushed, especially at the corners. Always move the pallets as gently as possible. Never drop a pallet. Avoid pallet-to-pallet contact or minor bumps, drops and collisions, which could damage the drive. It's also important to prevent condensation on HDD. Be alert to temperature changes greater than 10 degrees and allow the box to reach the room temperature. Make sure to acclimate the box for 6 to 8 hours before opening. When unpacking HDDs, take out the device, holding the frame on both sides of the drive, making sure that excessive force is not given to the PCB and to the top cover. To avoid shock or vibration, be sure to store them on a flat surface, PCB side down, using a conductive mat with buffer material of more than 3 cm in thickness. Do not drop or shake HDDs. Don't push the top cover. These actions could damage the internal components of the drive. Do not stack HDDs. Don't stand HDDs on their side. Do not place anything on top of them. Use caution when installing data and power connector to avoid damaging connector pins. Be sure to use electrostatic discharge ESD protecting equipment whenever handling with HDDs. ESD damages are usually invisible to the eye and may not be discovered until later due to failure. ESD happens in a split second. In most cases, you probably won't feel it, but a drive can be permanently damaged with as little as 5-volt shock. And did you know that, for example, when walking across a carpet on a dry floor, it can generate amazing 35,000 volts? This is the reason why it is extremely important to use ESD protective equipment whenever you handle HDDs. Please use wrist straps, ESD shoes and conductive floor connected to an electrical or earth ground. Keep the HDD in the original packaging and inside the ESD bag until you are ready to physically install the HDD into your system. Do not let others touch the HDD you are handling. Hold the HDD by their sides, taking care not to touch the PCB connectors. Use correct length and thread of the screws at integration and correct torque for screwdrivers. Never unplug HDD before turning power off and before shutting down the system. I would also like to point out that it is very important to use the original packaging when shipping new drives to customer or even when returning defect drives back to Toshiba or to your distributor. If you do not have the original packaging, please use one with similar characteristics. Employ the same procedure observed during receiving. Keep the environment in consideration, such as temperature and humidity, when selecting a shipping method. In conclusion, handling HDDs in the correct manner during installation will go a long way to ensure your Toshiba hard disk drives gives many years of satisfactory service. Allow boxes to reach room temperature to prevent condensation. Hold them correctly, grasp them by the sides and place them on a conductive mat. Don't push top cover. Do not stack HDDs. Do not use excessive force when installing HDDs. Follow the ESD guidelines for closing and safety precautions. If you keep all this in mind, you will improve the reliability of your product, reduce the cost of support and repair procedure, and last but not least, it will increase customer satisfaction.
Voilà, chérie, avez-vous tout compris? Did you understand everything? So, stay tuned and visit us soon.
Toshiba, leading innovation.